guys, it's P with my second Lindy Stamp Gang Under the Sea contest, and I really wanted to do a second project, but I really wasn't. I did not know what to do. So racked my brain a little, and this is what I came up with. I decided to do a captain's logbook because if the ship went down, the captain's logbook probably went down too. And I was watching a video on YouTube by Joe. I think it's Paper Drama. I'm not really sure. Please forgive me if it's not. And she had used one of these paper mache book boxes, and she decorated it up for a friend of hers as a little mini rack. And it was really pretty, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's it. And that's when I came up with the Captain's Logbook. But I also wanted to do a twist because I had a couple different ideas and some history that I knew about sailors and whatnot. And so frequently sailors would make mementos out of seashells for their loved ones. And it was usually a box, old cigar box, and it would be covered in a pattern of seashells. Now, I still wanted to do the captain's log, but I also wanted to do that. So this is what I came up with. And I'll try to zoom in here a little bit. It is the box, and it's made to look really old, like hundreds of years old. And I named this one Atocha. You can see that. It says Captain's Log 1622. That is from an actual ship found off the Florida Keys, and it was worth about $300 million, and it was a Spanish ship. Excuse me. So how I created this was I started out with Opal Sea Oats and Dark Brick Umber and Crow's Nest Copper. So, Crow's Nest Copper. I sprayed the whole thing with Crow's Nest Copper, and then I did Burnt Umber, and then I did Van Dyke Sepia over the whole thing. And I also added some Delta Dark Burnt Umber paint. I watered it down just a little bit so that it wasn't completely sparkle. I wanted to add more of an aged look to it. And the top piece is my paper leather technique, and it was also done with the same colors, the same way, little at a time. The little filigrees here are Tim Holtz grunge board. I don't know if you can get in that. And those were done layer after layer after layer. They were done with Cattail Copper Brown stain, which is here, and then Bayou Boogie Gold and Mission Bells Brown, and then they were sprayed with the Van Dyke Sepia. And then I also did a little white dauber, Ranger dauber, here and there to lighten it, so that I could add some Mystic Malachite and some Ponderosa Pine, because copper has a green patina to it, and I really wanted that a little bit of green patina to it. And then I embossed it with Midnight Copper, Midnight Bronze Obsidian, and then lightly sprinkled the Black Soot Distress embossing powder over those two here and there, so that these would show through, but that would hide some of it, giving it a really metalled finish. And they turned out really cool. The lighting is terrible, I'm sorry guys. And you can see the sparkle. And then, I'm hoping you're getting this. This is a piece of watercolor paper, and it looked like this. And just typical watercolor paper. And I spritzed it with the crow's nest copper and then the Van Dyke sepia. And I just kept spritzing it until it got really dark. And then I embossed it in the Midnight Bronze with a stamp by Glitz. It's called the Love Compass. It's this one right here. Even though you can't tell that that's the image, but it is. And so I think it really aged it a lot. And then I did a little bit of the Bayou Boogie Gold over the top of that, just to add a little bit. A couple little brads that are kind of in a brassy color. And but I think it turned out pretty cool. The whole box is done. I curled the paper here, get a little dimension like the leather's coming off. It really does have a look of leather. There's big blotches of copper, and then I did over the corners to make it look like some moss was growing. I did the Edelweiss moss green and a little bit of the Ponderosa to kind of make it look like moss or algae was growing on it. So, and then if you open the box, you'll see a piece of paper that I have altered with all of the browns and the greens, the Ponderosa. I sprayed the whole thing with Opal Sea Oats first, and then did Ponderosa and Edelweiss and Mystic Malachite here and there to make it, again, add that green. And finally went over with the Van Dyke Sepia Walnut, which is probably the one I use the most. And then inside, you will see some treasures. Typical of what a sailor... Whoops, I'll try to zoom out a little bit. Typical of what a sailor might bring back for his loved one. I went to the local art store and had a piece of plexiglass cut for this, so I could actually make it into a treasure box. And I attached a piece of black seam binding to the edge so it can be removed. And inside, I took, this is just a silk flower. Right here, and I sprayed that with the landlubber, a little bit of landlubber and a little bit of Bayou Boogie, and rolled it and heated it a little bit, and it crinkled up a little bit. And there's a little button which it kind of reminded me of ivory, which you might find on a sunken ship. And then this is the seashell piece that I was telling you about. Sailors would often make frames or boxes, and they would carry paintings of their betrothed or their wife, little mini ones. And so I decided to make this that piece. Peacock feather, which would be, you know, something beautiful from a faraway land. And then the seashell here, I did, go look at my notes. It was done in Cockle-Bells coral, which is right here, and then I embossed it in geranium coral blush. And the little starfish, I sprayed him with a crow's nest and then embossed him with the midnight copper. And the seashells here were all done in micas. I did them in burnished gold leaf, Adobe Fire and then deep bronze over it just to add a little bit of color to them, because they were all like this black and brown kind of color and they really had no color. So they needed a little sparkle. And then I have some freshwater pearls in here, a little sand dollar, a couple little more shells. And of course sand in the bottom, and to the sand I added the burnished gold leaf. So this is my little treasure box and my captain's log. Hope you guys are getting that. Ah, out of frame. Okay, there. Maybe that's better. And I'll take some stills and try to attach them to the end of the video so you guys can actually see what the heck I'm talking about. So this is my second entry, and I thank you for the opportunity. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll catch you next time. If you have any questions, please leave me a comment. Bye-bye.